We're back with another interview with Tabletop Interviews, and I'm Peter Bryant, Solarian Games, and I am here with
Jay Parker from Dilly Green Mean Games and Works Games.
Works Games. I'm gonna have to ask you about that. I don't know about that.
Yep.
So Jay and I have been friends for forever in the industry. So
24 years or something?
So there's gonna be some inside.
It is 24 years.
It could be, yeah. It could be some inside jokes here and stuff. So, so Jay, you started out much like me as just an amateur person, just doing stuff for free, putting stuff out. But at some point, you made a leap from that to like professional production. So, how did that leap happen? Like, what occurred to make that leap go from non-professional to professional?
Well, you and I were doing the fusion stuff, and then James Carpio invited us to Icon on Long Island, and there you and I met Pondsmith, and he picked us up like that.
Right.
And next thing I knew, we were working on Cyberpunk V3, which, by the way, does exist out there somewhere.
Not 100% sure I want you to go buy it, but
so you and I worked on that.
Yeah.
With James and Dave Simpson and stuff, and then once that was gone, I kind of stuck with it. But I reached out to Cubicle 7 about Doctor Who because it was one of my bucket list items for my company, and my company the way the royalty payments work out for Doctor Who is if you use a representation of an actor, you must pay that actor. And so my company could not afford to pay out royalties for as many actors that are in Doctor Who that we wanted to cover. But I ended up working on the Cybermen for Doctor Who, and then a lot of the David Tennant era game material, which was cool. So I get to watch Doctor Who with my kids. And then we were here at TotalCon one year when we got Pondsmith to come, and he saw me running Cyberpunk V3. Oh no, Cyberpunk 2020, because he was running late. And then next thing I know, he's sitting behind me, and I'm like, "Oh, here, take over your game." He's like, "No," and I finished the game out, and he's like, "You're hired." I'm like, "For what?" He's like, "You're going to work on Cyberpunk Red now." And so then from there, it was just Cyberpunk Red. So I tell like my students who are currently watching, game design is like a lottery ticket. You either get a really good contract and it carries you a while, or you struggle and you get a normal job like we all have, and then we do this kind of like as a fun thing. And so that it was the Doctor Who thing and the Cyberpunk thing. Cyberpunk got you and I wedged into the industry. Like, actually gave us some street creds, even though it was Cyberpunk V3.
Right.
But we were the artists, and who freaking cared? And we wrote for it, so that's all. And our stuff was good.
Yeah.
Let's be real here. So I think that's really where it started. It was Carpio getting us to Icon and getting us linked up with Pondsmith, and that changed the entire dynamic for all of us.
Right.
So
James Carpio, he kind of brought us all together.
Oh yeah.
He was like the third stooge, as it were, or maybe the first stooge.
I'll say he was the first stooge, because we were just the two clowns in the shadows that he literally was like, he plucked us from.
Yeah, Larry and Curly, right?
Oh yeah, we were bad. We were bad.
So, what prompted that? Like, because I don't remember. I'm trying to remember. Like, how did he wind up getting my name at all?
Because you were doing the fusion power, core fusion, or whatever your freebies were.
Yeah.
And I came across those when I was looking to license a system for my superhero setting. And you and I got talking, and then we started talking to James, because the fusion forum, like with any gaming community, it'll get toxic from time to time. Actually, no. Let's be real here. It gets toxic. They always
get toxic. They get big. The bigger they get, the more toxic they get.
So it was really bad, and you were the redheaded stepchild until I came along, and then everyone's like, "Look, who's this idiot? Let's mess with him." And James wasn't like that.
Right.
And so when James realized that we weren't part of that crowd, and then we created the Fusion Forum, which became like the replacement. Then from there, everything just took off, and then the more we talked with him and stuff, he liked both our ideas and our work, and so he invited us to come to Icon.
So it really came out of just our attitude, right? So it's like I tell people a lot, if you want to be successful in life, you have to be skilled, right? So you have to have skill.
Yep.
You have to have drive. So you have to like actually want to do the thing that you're doing. But you also have to be likable, right? Because you think about the end of the day, it's like, well, who cares whether the person is likable or not if they can do the job? It's like, well, the answer to that is that anyone can do most jobs, right? Talent is not in short supply. But I can tell you that attitude is. I have people, I would much rather, I run a bunch of projects for the Army. I would much rather have somebody working for me that is, and I don't mean agreeable, they can disagree with me, but is respectful and someone who shows up on time, is responsible. I'll take half the talent for that.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And that's why you and I get along so well, because it's like we clearly disagree on stuff, and we are very not violent about it. If we were in person more often, I'm sure we would have beat the crap out of each other by now. But the same thing with my business partner, Jason Mercanian, is like we have disagreements, and sometimes they get pretty heated. But at the end of the day, it's like we respect each other's opinions. We take a step back. It's like, all right, so we had this discussion. How do we play forward with this? It's like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. We can actually. There's always a win-win. If you can't see the win-win, then you've missed the point. Right. And so, and that's just how it goes. And you're right. It's like, I enjoy good personality. It's like, if I have someone who isn't skilled, I will find something they are skilled at and then utilize that instead. And so, with this group of students that are watching today, they don't have to deal with it as much. But at my university students, I explain to them, it's like when I put them in groups, it's like, well, they don't like group work. Mm-hmm. It's like, but you need to learn how to work with people. Yeah. It's like, and this is why we do it. It's like, so find the people, their weak spots, and do not assign them those spots, but find them something they excel at. It's like, and if you have a group of people that cannot do this one thing because they're not good at it, it's like they learn to work together to overcome that obstacle. So,
yeah. So then you did all that stuff. You did Doctor Who. You did let's see, what other professional stuff that you did was kind of big? Cyberpunk, Doctor Who.
Was it just Cyberpunk and Doctor Who?
There wasn't another one I'm missing.
No, because I'm working on Flint Dilly's Subterraneans, but it hasn't launched yet. Right.
Oh, Katana Ra.
Katana Ra, which is ironic because I left Artel to go to Katana Ra. The temperature of the industry always varies, and so like sometimes you get it where it's like, I was known for writing gritty stuff for Cyberpunk. That was like my thing. So like when 2077 got announced and everyone was on Twitter talking about it, the stuff people were talking about that was offensive happened to be, they were showing my art and my gangs, and I'm like, but at the time, that was what Mike asked us to do, because that was Cyberpunk. And so you get to the point where, and you hear it in the industry, it's like there's disagreements with editors or whatever, and I was just like, I'm getting old enough now where I'm like, I really just need a fun project. And so Kusala, who did Sylvan Publishing back in the day, back in the 3.0 days, Kusala was huge in the industry as a third-party person. And so I saw this opportunity to go work on a feudal Japanese cyberpunk game. So I took everything that ever got cut from Cyberpunk Red, and I applied it into Katana Ra with also doing the Japanese immersion research and stuff. And that's been a crazy project. And then actually they just hired one of my former university game design students to join my team to work with me. So
how's that going? Because I never did get any kind of realized any follow through on so you because Katana Ra went out, right?
Yep.
How's it doing? Like what happened with that?
I don't know. I mean, apparently we have a South American fan base and a Poland fan base, which is great. I mean, so it's like, okay, well, great. I'm not here in the States. I think Studio 2 Publishing handles our distribution stateside.
Okay, Studio 2, I know them. They're a big company.
Yeah. So they handle all the sales. It's funny because people are like, hey, I got your game at a game store. I'm like, wait, what?
Send me pictures.
I don't see this stuff, see it.
Right.
So the joke is always like, great, I'm famous in other countries, but just like the joke being like living in Maine but saying I live in New Hampshire, it's like I don't want people bugging me, so it makes sense. And it's always been a joke, but now it's like, wow, it's a real thing.
Right.
So we put out the World Book is coming out the beginning of next month, and that thing was pretty huge. The Nexus Archives, which is like the equivalent of the Chromebook, I just wrapped that up, sent that off. That's at the editor's being edited. I'm currently working with my former student on a politics intrigue book, which is all the factions, like not all the clans, but all the major factions, how they perceive one another, and then like how they interact and what their end games are. And then I start a deep space core book for that setting this summer, and then there's like 2 other core books that go with that. So
it must be doing okay because you're continuing to move on and make more
yeah.
stuff for it. Okay. And then is that your foreseeable future is Katana Ra?
that's all. Like literally outside, once Subterraneans was done, like when I finished that core book, I focused on Katana Ra, because Katana Ra, I mean, Kusala keeps me busy. It's it's like every time Kusala sends me email, I'm like, oh man, what it's like, how much more are we adding to this, or like what to take out? Right. So I mean,
so Kusala has, in other words, it's making enough money to keep you paid to keep doing stuff.
Yep,
right?
I definitely getting paid for my work.
Yeah,
so.
that's good. It's good.
Part of my New Year's resolutions.
Yeah,
must have an end game, or I'm not doing it anymore. So,
well, that's where I got, and then with Solarian. That was sort of I need to figure out how to produce stuff. That's it, right? And I realized I couldn't really do it on my own because I used to have Studio 187, and then the reason why I dissolved it was because I had not gotten far enough. I wasn't far enough ahead of where I wanted to be, and I was like, I obviously can't do this just by myself. It's like the kind of thing I want to put out requires more than one person to work on it.
Yeah.
And so that's when I was talking with Jason and James, and they were like, "Why don't you join us at the time TSR, and then just become part of the team? We need more talent." And so I did that, and then we sailed the ship through the rough seas of the whole TSR debacle and stuff, which was fine. And I'm super happy that we are that we're Solarian now. I like the name better. I like having our own identity separate from any other baggage or anything like that. So it's been great, and people have taken to it. It was a very positive rebranding. Like there was no downside at all, and that's it's interesting to go through that kind of change. And then now you're like you used to do a whole bunch of different projects, and you had a lot of your own stuff you were doing, but now you're just like, what, I want to produce things, and I want to get them out the door, and I want people to see them, and so you've kind of joined forces with Kusala.
Yep.
And that you're riding that ship now, which is good. I mean, that's always my advice to any kind of indie game designer or anyone who wants to be an indie game designer. Work on somebody else's other stuff first. Right? Because you want to build a reputation, first off. I mean, that's one of the things you want to do. If you try and build a reputation off your own stuff right out the gate, usually not. That's a very hard sell.
Yeah, I mean, G-Core did well, and I feel bad for the G-Core fans because it's like, I'm not putting G-Core stuff out as much. I mean, I had been putting tomes out, like the collections of all the modules.
But you have a ton of G-Core stuff out, right? I mean, there's a huge library of stuff.
150 titles or something that are still out there. And then 6 in-print tomes that are around 200, 300 pages a book.
Right.
Those things are sick, dude. I'm like, of course, I'm redoing all the art for like the tomes or the current story arc tomes, and it just takes, it's a lot of time, and I don't have it anymore because it's like if I'm not teaching and I'm not doing Kusala stuff, or if I'm not doing Flint stuff, there is no time. It's like I have to stop myself at 4:00 every week or every day and just go downstairs into my grandfather's old office and play video games just to like wind down, because it's like I can find myself sitting in front of my computer. Used to do it at holidays. Thanksgiving Day, I'd be working on stuff, and it's like my wife's like, "Are you going to come do Thanksgiving with the family?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's a holiday, isn't it? I probably should stop working." So
yeah, it's taxing. I mean, it's because you're tracking a million things. If you're writing something for a game design, you have to think about where it ties into everything else. So if you change this thing or add this thing, what's the downstream of that? And that's literally everything in the game. And then, when you go through the edit, you got to look for it because you had it one way and now you got it another way, and you're going through the edit, and in your mind you're closing gaps on your own, so you miss it. So you got to have someone else look at it, because to you it was fine. They're like, "What is this?" You're like, "Oh, that's right, we changed that." Right? But my brain said it was okay because it was okay. So when you do your editing, I know your wife does a lot of your editing.
Works Games has their own designated editor.
Okay. Oh, and what's Works Games? That's Kusala?
That's Kusala's company. Right. So they were based out of England, and they moved to Singapore.
Okay.
So I am myself and the editor and the additional writer we have. We're the only non-Singapore residents in the company. 'Cause
Really?
They require them, I believe, to have so many residents of Singapore working there in order for them to have
a lot of countries do that. Yeah.
So Eva, who's the editor, does a great job, and she's not a gamer. So first time out with Katana Ra, she's like, "Wow, this is a lot." She read the world book. She's like, "How did you keep track of all this?" I have a cheat sheet where I keep track of clans, characters, like how everything links together. And I mean, the world book, I thought my company was going to end up printing it because we weren't sure what was going to happen, because they had a video game side to Works Games, which didn't do as well as they wanted. Now in Singapore, now they're doing better. So now they're repushing the stuff again. So I just, you know me, I just write. And so I'm writing this massive volume of like material for Katana Ra, and then Coase is like, "Oh, we're good to go. We're publishing it." I'm like, it's way more word count than what we originally agreed to. It's like, that going to be okay? And so I actually didn't bill him for the over amount because it's like, it was so much fun writing the world book. I'm like, I'm not going to overbill you. I'm not going to bill you for that.
Yeah, but it does raise his production costs.
Well, you can take what you didn't pay me and make a beautiful book. And I've seen the PDF for it, and the PDF looks good.
Now, is this a physical book people can buy?
It'll be a physical book.
Okay.
So it's interesting because the copy of Katana Ra I have was like a drive-through RPG copy, but the copies they were selling like last year here at TotalCon, books were beautiful. And I actually was like, "Oh, I so want a copy of this like beautiful, like this version of it," because Studio 2 handles the printing stuff, and just amazing.
So, being that Katana Ra seems to be your main focus at this point in the game, tell me a tiny bit about the system. Like, is it like at the percentile? Is it a dice pool? What is it?
It's a D10 system, kind of like everything we ever did with Fusion or whatever.
Okay.
I took a lot of the stuff that like the fans talked about that they didn't like about Cyberpunk Red, and kept that in mind while I was designing the system. So the system's pretty simple in the sense that you just roll a D10 and you do, I think it's your skill plus your like a stat bonus, not the actual stat, for like a difficulty number or whatever. And then like if you hit, then you roll. There's a result chart for different weapon types. So the game is lethal like classic Cyberpunk. So you can get killed like if you roll to hit something and then you roll a 10 on the result chart and it says instant kill. Whatever you shot at is dead.
Gotcha.
And so we ran it here last convention, and a player got their head ripped off, and it's like, but
how's the reception? I mean, in general,
they liked it because the thing is, in the game, there's things for people that don't like their characters getting killed. There's rules like you can clone your character, so you can 3D print your like what got ripped off. You can have it 3D printed back on or whatever.
Sure.
So but the mechanics are lethal. There was some grumbling about it because people are like, well, there's no levels. It's like, if you never played Cyberpunk.
Yeah, right. There's no levels.
It's like so I really played the whole idea of keeping it lethal like classic Cyberpunk, but really giving it the feudal Japanese style. So if you ever see the movie Ninja Assassin,
yes.
So the opening scene where the old guy's talking about the ninjas, and then the ninjas come and kill all those guys.
Yeah.
The combat mechanics were designed after that scene.
Okay.
Because I wanted it to be, you could do something like that in a game, which you normally, when you look at games and stuff, you don't.
So is it kind of hard science, or is there any kind of supernatural anything?
It's got mysticism added to it because Kusala wanted, like, it's almost like, I don't want to say like Shadowrun, because we don't have like crazy magic,
right?
But all the mysticism in it is based off of Japanese. So it's not like you cast a spell; it's a ritual you have to do,
right?
And if you screw the ritual up, there's a whole chart on like what you have to roll.
Did you do the one where they have that card that they put on someone's head or something? Okay.
Yeah, I think I don't know. There's character cards that you can do and stuff,
right?
But it's a neat system. And I applied what I learned over the years, like working on Cyberpunk and stuff, and working, just gaming, looking at like when you'd send me like Mythic Steel and stuff, which, by the way, I still have all your editions on my shelves.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, it was cool. I still have the posters, man, in my office.
Okay, so there's a prime example, right? I had this product I was developing that was very, still a good idea. I still like the idea because it's not just a setting. There's a whole thing going on with it. But I want it to be a certain way, and I want it to be I want there to be some revolutionary design elements to it, because releasing a game for me, it's not important. Like, there's no importance in me in just releasing a game, right? That's not what I want to do. I'm going to release something that people love, right? And they're going to go, oh, that's new. I've never seen that before.
Yep.
Not everything, but like, I want there to be something core to it that people go, oh my God, I've never seen that before. That's really cool. I love it. And I just haven't been creative enough over the years to get to what I thought was revolutionary. Or some other person had thought of something that I thought of that was revolutionary when I thought of it, but it was just an idea waiting to be discovered, because multiple people discover the same things at the same time. Yep. And I was like, ah, damn it, that would have been but I'm there. I've actually got something, and I've got a system that I've put together that is, to me, fits all the criteria. I think it's going to be an amazing success. I don't know.
Until someone puts out a game with the exact same mechanics.
Right. I don't know.
What?
Or it might suck. But in the play testing that I've done, people really love it.
Cool.
But that's, that's a lot of, what goes on in the production side of things. So like Lee said, you have some of my early draft stuff. Well, that was all conceptual. Like, this is kind of what I would want. But I knew I wasn't there with like the core stuff that I wanted in it. And it's just taken me time, because I would create something, and then we would play test it. And I would go, oh, that didn't do what I thought, or it did exactly what I thought, and what I was thinking was dumb.
Yeah.
That's so that's why it's not there yet.
And you and Doug,
but it's coming.
You and Doug Poirier have the same thing going too. Like Doug, I was working on Doug's Thunder game for a while.
Yes.
And his rules, there were so many rules and stuff.
Yes.
It was like, it's so Peter Bryant. I mean, it was like, when I first met you, you were like the god of everything fine details in Fusion.
Too much. Yeah, it was too much.
And so, like, you saw that in your iterations of Mythic Steel, where it's like, and the thing is, like, I've known you for years, and I use you as an example when I talk about game design. It's like there's going to be times where you just can't move yourself forward, because it's like, but it's like we always joke around. It's like, yeah, Jay throws shit at the wall.
Yeah.
Until something sticks.
Right.
You on the other hand are like, it must be perfect.
Yeah, I'm like a sniper.
Yeah, it's like, so it's an interesting contrast, and it works. Of course, for our friendship, it works great, because it's like, we keep kind of, it's like, dude, are you gonna? It's like, I mean, I heckle you about Mythic Steel, but it's also, I want to see you succeed, because you've always been. I'm going to be careful how I word this. You've always played the logistical support wingman for everybody else.
Yeah, that's true.
And
it's true.
That is what has held you back all these years. That's what it is. You were always there to support me. That's why I try to bring you everywhere I go, because I was like, I can't just go somewhere after what James, because you and I came in together, and it was horrible for us in the beginning. I mean, people were just rude. Mm-hmm. And
it was like a club.
Yeah.
And there were gatekeepers. I'm like, well, why is there? I don't understand this.
But the minute I started, like, doors open for me, it's like, well, no, because Blix and I came to this together. I need to take him with me. Mm-hmm. And James opened the big door. It's like, he needs to come with us too.
Yeah.
And so I always was like, I wanted to include you guys in everything I did, just because that would have been that's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough business to be in. You got to be a million things.
But you come into your own too, which I'm totally proud of you, man. Because it's like, I remember the beginning, and we have weathered fucking crazy storms over the years.
Yeah,
and it's cool to see. Like we're sitting here now. It's like, okay, well, I didn't expect you doing like late night with Conan O'Brien, but It's like, but it's your thing.
Yeah,
and plus I'm seeing the stuff you're producing for Solarian too. Yes, I actually follow your stuff.
Nice.
Well, specifically you.
Right.
I was following James for a while, but actually up until he passed away.
Yeah.
So there's some great stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I look forward to seeing what you put out, and I'll back your stuff. I can still get your what was the card game you put out?
Oh, Cube of Death.
Not Cube of Death. I got that one too.
Oh, Rogue Chess.
Rogue Chess. I still have Rogue Chess sitting on my shelf.
I would love to re-release that. I would love to, but it's again, there's pipeline, right? We want to do a million things, and our pipeline is only so wide. But all right, man. Well, it was good seeing you.
Man.
Thanks. Where can folks find you?
You can find me at Works Games. You can find me sort of at Dilly Green Bean Games. Or come take classes with me at the Central Maine Community College or University of Southern New Hampshire. So
this turned out to be a lecture to your students as well.
yeah, and we're going to go do art portfolio reviews. That's what we're doing, and I was like, oh, so
This thing. All right. Well, thank you for joining us,
thank you.
I'll see you around, and stay tuned for our next guest.